Hey, welcome everybody to the fourth fucking edition of the Hangar 18 show. We might know too much. Probably not, but there's always hope for us, right? So anyway, hey, I want to say we're going to go ahead and go through some Halloween themed songs provided to us by Tony here, much to some of our chagrin there. I guess not chagrin necessarily, because I guess that means embarrassment. Fucking, I don't know what he was thinking with some of these fucking songs. But anyway.
We haven't bitched about any in a while. How are people going to, if we say yes to everything, what I was thinking is I need to throw in some stuff to warn people.
Let the inmates run the prison every once in a while, and this is what happens. Hey, you know what? Dreadwind songs are pretty much like 8 of 9 of them were great. All right, fuck it. All right. So anyway, with me as always is our heavy metal panel of Dreadwind.
Hello, hello.
And Tony.
Hi.
And I'm Thundercracker or Dan or whatever the fuck you want to call me. Just say the fuck off my airframe. Anyway.
Sir, Stabby Face.
Yeah, it's Mr. Blue Alien Giant Stabby Face. All right.
Murderous robot.
Murderous giant alien robot. Yes. All right. So first off, we're going to start off with some heavy metal news, right? And I want to start off with actually like a bit of good news because this news cycle is like, I don't know, it makes me just want to fly into the side of a goddamn mountain because all it is shithole elections and like moronic people like SJW bullshit and like violence and poverty and famine. It's almost like the goddamn seventh seal has been opened. For a news cycle. But so anyway, I want to start out with some good news, right? So there's this sheriff actually in Compton, California, and his name is Miguel Garcia. And he was investigating a crime, and he overheard a band called Misled Youth, which is like a garage band, right? And you might think, well, holy shit, the cop hears this band playing their music, jamming or whatever. He's going to go over there and say, hey, turn that down, or he's going to arrest somebody, or, tear gas canister might get thrown, or knee knockers might get shot. But no. He goes over there, and he goes ahead and puts his axe on, and he goes ahead and plays right along with the guy. And he plays the song The Kids Aren't Alright by The Offspring. Here's my favorite part about the story, right? Is it shows me that I'm not the only one that gets trolled by that guy, because right after it says in the story, it says, Garcia ended up playing The Kids Aren't Alright by The Offspring with the band, and then parenthetically it says, yes, we know The Offspring wouldn't be considered metal, calm down. Which reminds me a lot of somebody else's disclaimers on shit that they post, right? So that's my bit of heavy metal news. Dreadwind, what did you have?
I thought for sure you were going to do the engagement photo story, which is why I didn't write any of it down. Do you remember that?
I do not.
Okay, because you posted it.
I did?
Yeah. California, this was like last week. There was a couple having engagement photos for their wedding.
Yeah, okay. Now you're cooking with gas.
Yeah, and they go out into the woods to take their engagement photos, and they run across a black metal band who's also doing, I guess they were doing a photo shoot as well, or some sort of video, whatever. But they're decked out in the corpse paint and everything, and they decide to join in, and they just take some photos together and everything. That was, I thought, pretty funny.
I should have done that.
Yeah, I thought you were going to do that one. So my actual ones was Tool has, as a lot of people know, they're working on a new album, supposedly, for the last 10 years. Yeah. Reportedly, they said that they have enough material for 2 albums, but only like 5 songs meet their Tool standards. So they're still, I guess, hard at work on that. And personally, I think it stinks that it's taken so long for them to do it. But I think it's cool that even though they have that much material, they're not just going to throw whatever they have out there and say here. That they actually have a set of standards that they want to stick to, and if the song doesn't meet their standards, they're not going to put it out. And I think that's a good call in the long run.
Didn't Guns N' Roses do that, where they put out 2 albums and like 90% of the songs on those 2 albums are shit?
Well, I was thinking Metallica actually with Load and Reload.
Oh God, that too.
That was supposed to be a double album originally. They were gonna put that out as a double album, and they just decided to split it between two different albums because they had so much material.
Yeah, it's hard to fold a turd onto itself.
Yeah, and
it breaks.
Unless you want a turd sandwich.
Ooh, I prefer douche.
Yeah, sometimes it's better just to trim the fat and get a good solid album. So that's apparently what Tool is doing. It's just taking forever.
All right, Tony.
New album out today. Buying it when I get off work tomorrow morning. Like I'm gonna go to Walmart and get it. But Testament's new album is out today. Yes, my mouth is full of pizza. Brotherhood of the Snake is out. I'm picking it up. You guys should too.
Yeah, that's actually the name of a Warhammer 40K novel too.
Yeah,
it's a really good one. The only one I've ever heard of, but the chapter of the Iron Snakes. Yes. All right, so we're gonna delve right into our playlist, motherfuckers. So number one on our list that was so graciously provided to us by Tony was King Diamond, Halloween, and this is from his debut album, Fatal Portrait. I got that right?
Yep.
King Diamond was formed in 1985, and something I thought pretty interesting about King Diamond is they've had 19 members in the band between their inception and now. That's pretty crazy.
Of course, prior to the King Diamond band, he was the lead singer for Merciful Fate.
Right. True that. All right, so what I have down here is the guitar was good, the solos were good, the drums boring, and the vocals sounded like his nuts were in a vice. And I'm pretty sure that's standard for King Diamond.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and rate it a 6.0. For oh my God, well, who put fucking King Diamond on the list? Go ahead, Dreadwood.
Yeah, King Diamond is definitely an acquired taste for people. My notes are the solos were nice. It has a very, very 80s rhythm and sound to it. Very typical 80s. I hate to say hair metal, but kind of similar hair metal type.
It is.
Guitar sound to it, and then of course the extremely high voice. With King Diamond, you either love him or you're and this particular song didn't stand out. Nothing really stood out to me. I give this one a 6.
6.6. So
that's
far,
we got sixes. I guess it's going to be 666 right off the bat. Obviously, I chose this song because some people hate high screechy voices. And King Diamond has some better songs out there. Usually songs that don't involve one word being in the lyrics. Because every other word that he says is Halloween, and he lets you know that the song is about Halloween. And that was my major gripe with it, aside from the high notes. Like, again, King Diamond is a very acquired taste, as Dreadwind put it. But, solid instrumental work. So it gets a 6.
A 6.66. All right. Hail Satan. All right. So our next song is by Cannibal Corpse. So I think he was maybe trying to make up a little bit for the chords for that, right? So Cannibal Corpse formed in New York in 1988, and this song "Pit of Zombies" is off of their Gore Obsessed album, which is their eighth studio album, 2002. And the song was actually written by their bassist Alex Webster, and the guitar in this is brutal as fuck. I mean, there's no way around it. The guitar is just fucking brutal. It's a goddamn sledgehammer. The vocals, I know Dreadwin's going to disagree with me here because he doesn't really like death metal so much, but I think the vocals are fucking awesome.
Yes.
And I think the drums were awesome. I think this was overall really, really, really good song, and it's one of my Gore Obsessed is one of my favorite Cannibal Corpse albums as far as like the later stuff goes.
I got to hear this song live like 3 times.
So I'm going to give it an 8.0.
Nice.
Dreadwin.
Nice. Okay. I don't have very many notes because this one, again, nothing really jumped out at me in the song. The guitars were good. That's what I have notes on is the guitars. I liked the guitars in it. The solo was pretty sweet. We went from a definite 80s sound to a definite 90s sound with the guitars. They had the guitar tone was very, very, very 90s metal.
Variety is the spice of life.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I have, I think he said reanimated to devour at one point. I kind of like that line.
Hell yeah.
His vocals, they weren't bad, but they're not my favorite. I gave the song a 7.
7. All right. And Tony.
They punch in my stomach and tear out the guts. They're a 12.
I love Corpse Grinder. I love the guitar work. This was by far, I think, the best song out of this whole list. That's the reason why I went from like one of the worst songs to one of the best songs, because I planned this accordingly. It's all strategically, just as planned.
Plus, Corpse Grinder has like the largest neck known to human beings.
He does. Like, he has a neck like a python. Like,
yeah, it's like the size of my leg.
Yeah, like what the fuck, dude? But no, I love the lyrics.
Does he get all veiny when he does that?
No, it's more like he has hidden lats, and his lats appear when he sings. Like, you don't see his neck swell until he's on stage, and then you see that thick neck become a thicker neck.
Well, I guess not so much his neck, but like definitely his head veins throb.
Yeah, and the head spinning, the hair spin. But yes, this is one of my favorite songs by Corpse, period. It's up there with Frantic Disembowelment.
Frantic Disembowelment, fucking great song.
Oh yeah, and this is my 9 on the list.
All right, so 7, 8, 9. I think we had there. Fair enough. All right. Okay,
no,
next.
Mine was would you? Okay, yeah, that's right. The head spinning thing just reminded me of a joke I saw. It was a picture of like an old medieval windmill, and you're going around, and they said, "Wow, the windmill's moving really fast today." And they go, "Oh no, that's Rapunzel listening to death metal."
Nice. Did you see that one video of that death metaler like demolishing a house, and he was just doing the head spin?
Oh yeah,
with the scamper. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that's awesome.
That shit's great.
All right, so moving on. We get way off topic on that kind of thing. All right, so moving on. Pantera, Cemetery Gates. Okay, Pantera formed in Texas, 1981. Their first major label album debut, Cowboys from Hell, which is what this song comes from. Cemetery Gates, 1990. I just want to say first off, like Dimebag, he actually auditioned to be in Megadeth, and I guess he wanted his brother to come with him, and they had already had a drummer. So they ended up going with Marty Friedman. And I think, though I'm not sure, I have like this weird recollection of Dreadwind actually telling me this story. But I read it today, so it's weird for me. But anyway, my notes are that the solo in this song fucking kills it.
Exactly.
And the whole song is like, it's like kind of like a Romeo and Juliet type thing, where not necessarily exactly Romeo and Juliet, but somebody dies. And he calls it a she in the music, but somebody dies, and he's contemplating going to join them by committing suicide. It seems like, so that's what the whole kind of song is about. And anyway, I just want to say the Cowboys from Hell went platinum. It's pretty fucking amazing for a debut Pantera album,
especially considering the time. Right, that was right around when Nirvana was coming out and all that other,
Yeah, 1990. That Nirvana, not Nirvana, but the Black Album from Metallica too.
Yeah, well, I think Nirvana was 92, 93, but still, it was right around. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give this a 9.0 because I fucking love Pantera and I love this song. Even with like the slow part, it's really good.
Yeah.
So Dreadwind.
Pantera is one of the most well-known and deservedly so metal bands from that era. They just like we just mentioned, they kept metal going during that '90s period, and
Grunge.
that
Mm-hmm.
that album, that whole album, is just a big punch in the mouth.
Yeah, Heresy's fucking badass too.
Oh man, it's just amazing. And then you have
Basically the album cover for Vulgar, like.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then you have this song, which is the big change up in the album. And, you know, every great band has songs like this. You know, Black Sabbath would do it. You'd have all these big, huge doom songs, and then they'll slow things down a bit. And that's what this song is. It takes it down to mix it up. A good album, to me, I've always said this, a good album is like a roller coaster ride. You know?
Yeah, ups and downs, yeah.
You got to have some ups and downs. You got to have some curves in here. You know, you can't just go straight up the whole album. So this song fits that, and it brings it in. And I'm trying to describe this. It's perfect. I don't have any other way of saying it. Phil's voice is, you know, he goes from the screaming and the yelling to this very melodic,
melodic. Yep.
You know, and he
gave us both spectrums.
Yes, he really sings on it. The guitar work is just amazing. The whole song from front to finish, even his, I know you don't like high screams, but his screams are unmatched on this song. I mean, he can't even do it anymore. It's perfect. It's a 10.
Yes.
A 9 out of 10.
Let's pull out a 10.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
This isn't the best song on Cowboys. That's the reason why I gave it an 8.5. But this is one of the most iconic songs that Pantera has ever released.
Fucking A.
This is Dimebag's, one of Dimebag's songs. You listen to this song to hear the guitar. You listen to this song to hear his masterwork. That is what this song is to me. And like I said, I actually like Cowboys. It's one of I like Cowboys more than I like Cemetery Gates, but hey, that's me. But it's a solid 8.5. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to make it a 9 because yeah.
9, 9, 10. I think that might be the highest scoring song ever.
Yeah.
We should probably keep.
As Dreadwind said, it's perfect.
We should probably keep track of the scores at some point. All right, so.
You know, I still need to write that script. I need to write that.
All right, so that was pretty ringing endorsement from us there on that song.
Mm-hmm.
Shockingly, Pantera scored high.
Yeah, no shit, right?
All right, next song is Typo Negative, also known as the Drab 4. And the song is All Hallows Eve from their 5th album, World Coming Down, released in 1999. The band themselves were formed in New York in 1989. The slow bass intro I thought was pretty cool. There was like this weird guitar distortion, which that's pretty standard for Typo Negative. That's the same distortion they use. And also they make quite a bit of use of keyboards, it seems like. Well,
they have a keyboard player, so
right.
If they don't, he doesn't have much to do.
Right. Well, I mean, he could just go over and headbang, I guess. Right? So, you know, I saw the best description I saw of Typo Negative is gothic / doom, which I think that's a pretty good description. My only one issue with this song is it's 8.5 fucking minutes long. Okay?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm good with it. I give it a 7.5. Dreadwind.
Okay. On this one, of course, there's. Let me just start by saying Peter Steele, rest in peace.
Yeah, fucking A, rest in peace, Peter.
Probably has or had more talent in his little finger than I will ever have in my entire life. But you have the iconic sound with the bass guitar, his iconic voice.
Yep.
Kenny even jumps in and sings along on this one. Who's the guitar player?
Right.
It's pretty much a kind of a stereotypical classic Typo sound from their October Rust and World Coming Down, that whole era.
Yeah, this one's actually Off-World Coming Down, I think.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just saying, it felt like it could have fit in October Rust as well. It kind of
definitely
kind of that in between those two albums. It was kind of long. I felt like they could have trimmed it down maybe 2 minutes or so. My biggest problem with this song is it doesn't have any of those hooks in it that you usually hear from a good typo song. It felt like it lacked direction from his. It was a little too open feeling. It's hard to describe, but
now that you mention it, I kind of see what you're saying.
It's very ambient.
Didn't have. Yeah, very ambient, but it didn't have. Usually, Peter Steele has a very focused writing style, and you have specific movements during the songs where it goes from piece to piece to piece within one song, and this doesn't have that. It just kind of goes, and it felt like he wanted to write a song specifically about Halloween, and he did, but then it didn't get focused as well as his.
It was a song made out of obligation, and
right.
Yeah.
So it just felt a little lackluster to me. So I gave it a 6.5, and I love Typo Negative.
Yeah, I'm a fan too. Yeah. Okay, so Tony, go ahead.
Like I said, that was my points on this song. It did not have the hooks, it did not have the direction. And I really feel like the song was made out of obligation. But a lot of these songs, especially as we get further down in the list, I really feel they were made out of obligation rather than,
make a Halloween song.
Artistic musing and things like that. There's some obvious cash-ins later on down the list. This I don't think was a cash-in per se, but more so, I really feel like his intention was to try to grab the ambience and the creepy feeling of Halloween, but as a result, musically, the song suffers. And so I gave it a 7.
A 7. All right. So I just want to say one thing here before we go a little further is 1, 2, 3, fucking 4 songs, 5 songs in a row. You have picked songs that have like tragedy behind them. So
yes.
Well done on that, I guess.
That whole album, too, from Typo Negative, he was in a really, really low place when he wrote that album. So if you ever listen to that World Coming Down album, it's really depressing.
It is depressing, yes.
All right.
Even for him.
So our next song is Bark at the Moon by Ozzy Osbourne. And first off, I'm going to go ahead and right out and say it. No, he wasn't on this track. This is like right after. Let's say R.I.P. Randy Rhoads. Right? This fucking amazing guitarist. And I don't care who you are, what school of guitar work you come from, Randy Rhoads, fucking awesome guitarist.
Absolutely.
He is one of the gods.
I mean, just amazing, right? So Bark at the Moon, the title track of their 1983 album that went triple platinum, which is pretty awesome. This has got Jake E. Lee on the guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And first off, that opening riff right there, which is like kind of like the main riff throughout the song, it's fucking amazing, number one. And number two, no matter where you are, no matter who you are, if you know anything about heavy metal, as soon as you hear that, instantly you know Bark at the Moon is on. Exactly. I mean, it's iconic riff. Right. I mean, it's not like Iron Man iconic, but it's right up there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So the solo is goddamn amazing. You can actually hear the bass in the song, which is sometimes in metal songs the bass gets kind of covered up a little bit. The video, which I thought was pretty good too, it's got Ozzy as a mad scientist, and then he's a werewolf, and he's locked in a rubber room, and then he's in a coffin. It's got pretty much like all the classic horror elements, and I give it a motherfucking 10. Dreadwood.
Yeah!
Yeah. It's first of all, it's a very cheesy 80s video that you would expect from.
Oh yeah, the guy's got like that pirate like ruffles on his shirt when he's playing.
Yeah, and Ozzy's kind of got the whole Jekyll and Hyde thing going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. But yeah, Jake E. Lee was a monster, or is a monster guitar player. Very underrated. It's hard to step in and fill somebody's shoes like Randy Rhoads,
Yes.
But I thought he did a very admirable job. That last solo.
Yeah.
Oh my God, awesome. This song is probably, I would say this is probably or easily one of Ozzy's from his solo career, one of his top 5 songs.
Oh, I agree.
And with the exception of Crazy Train, this one is probably the most popular song that people learn to play on guitar.
Yes.
When people are learning to play guitar, it's Crazy Train, and then it's this one. Just an iconic, classic Ozzy song. If you know Ozzy Osbourne, you have to know this song. I give it a 9.5.
9.5. Well done. All right, Tony, go ahead.
There are very few Ozzy songs in his solo career that I would put above this one, but I could count them on one hand. This is everything compiled into what you hear in a good Ozzy song. Like, this was at during the zenith of his solo career, and when I chose, the cool thing about doing a themed list like this is there's obviously really, really good ones, and I had to throw this one in there because of the video. It wasn't because of the song; it was because of the video, because it had all of that cheese in it. It had all of that 80s cheese in it, but the guitar work, the lyrics, the theme of the song, the tempo of the song, the bass in the song. That's another recurring theme of my list, is there's a lot of bass notes, audible bass notes. Because I appreciate the bass, and if I were to ever actually tackle learning an instrument, it would be the bass.
It's one less string, right?
Yeah, one less string, and I got big
two
fingers
depending
that
on
look
which.
like Vienna sausages. I really don't think I got the deft hands for a guitar.
It'd be two less strings.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. That shows how much I know about guitar.
Well, there are 5-string bass.
Yeah.
So if you play a 5-string bass, you would have one less string. If you play a 4-string bass, it would be.
No, I fucked up. I thought it was 5-string guitars.
But I agree with Dredd here. It's a 9.5.
9.5, 9.5, 10. Wow. I think that now is the highest ranked song we've ever had.
Yes.
Okay. And I just want to say, too, that I have a resin cast statue of Ozzy as the werewolf hanging on. Yeah, it's right above my CD rack.
Is
and it's
it
got
one of McFarlane's? Because I have the Rob Zombie one.
I think it's the McFarlane one. It's like the one where he's got his arm outstretched, and it's like there's like little pieces of wood around him.
Yeah.
And then like around the base of it,
I've been looking for that one. Jesus.
Yeah, around the base of it, they're like containers of like liquids and stuff. It's pretty neat.
Yes.
So yeah, okay. Moving on. Once again, the next song is Motorhead, Back at the Funny Farm, and again, here we have another fucking tragedy. R.A.P. to Mr. Lemmy Kilmister.
Rest in peace, Lemmy.
Yeah, I mean, some people don't like Motorhead. Some people they like a lot of the stuff I do, but they don't really like Motorhead. But I mean, Lemmy, he's like pretty influential as far as heavy metal goes. The guy's a World War II buff, which is awesome. Heavy metal. I mean, he's even in a porn, right?
Yeah.
He didn't like do the any actual porn
World
stuff.
Sexist Man.
But he acted in a porn, which is pretty. Motorhead formed in 1975 and is often considered pre-new wave of British heavy metal. This particular song, Back from the Funny Farm, was from their album Another Perfect Day, which is their 6th album, 1983. And I saw it was pretty interesting side note on this one. The cover art, the guy who did it, he drew it on a beer box.
Yes.
Shockingly, the song has driving bass and drums. I mean, the rhythm section of Motorhead songs is always really strong. I think even the first part where he's like fucking around a little bit, sounds like they're in the studio and he's kind of like just saying some bullshit. Then at the end he goes, "Pop, pop," and then they just start playing. I love that.
I thought it was live at first because
yeah. So I give it a 7.
I think they were fucking around in the studio and they just put that in the cut.
Top notch. Yeah. So I give it a 7.5. I love it. I love them. I love Motorhead. Go ahead, Dreadwing.
Yeah, my notes almost exactly what you have written. What you said was driving bass, pretty much a classic Motorhead sound. I even thought the guitar work was good on it. Pretty decent solo there at one point. Nothing. Again, I say this a lot, but really nothing jumped out from the song itself. It's just kind of your classic Motorhead song. If you know what Motorhead sounds like, That's what this song sounds like.
Definitely.
I give it a 7. It's not outstanding, but it's not bad. It's 7.
All right, Tony.
I don't know what it is, but you're right. The tragedies are there. The remembrance of fallen legends is there. And this is no different with Lemmy. When I found out that when Lemmy passed, I had in my liquor cabinet a spare 5th Jack Daniels. I pulled out my vinyls, played them, and drank that 5th into a drunken stupor by myself over the course of like 30 minutes. I was so destroyed when I heard about his passing that, it was one of them. He was one of the impacting forces in getting me into metal. I've always loved Lemmy. So yeah, I had to give this song, have to give him his props for that. As for the song itself, as Dredd put it, it's nothing spectacular. It's classic Motorhead. It's Motorhead sound, but I kind of like the whole crazy house theme for the Halloween theme, so that's the reason why I picked it. There are significantly better Motorhead songs out there. I can name at least 10, but as for the Halloween theme, this was the one that I chose, and I think it did amicably. I gave it a 7.
7. All right. So yeah, just speaking of like when you heard about Lemmy's death, like when I first heard about it, I was like, no, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Same thing with Dimebag. When I heard about that, I'm like, no, that's made. There's no way that happened. All right. So moving on to our next song by a band called GWAR. And it is The Bloody Pit of Horror Part 1, Zombies March. All right. GWAR formed in Virginia in 1984. This is from the Bloody Pit of Horror album, and it was the last album, again, with a tragedy theme, with Flatus Max on there. The guitar breakdown in this song I thought was pretty goddamn amazing. Brocky's vocals in this, Odorous' vocals in this, very punk-esque, I thought. Very kind of punk rock sounding. And the marching theme at the end of the song I thought was really, really awesome. That's my notes, and I gave it an 8.0.
That's that Death Piggy roots, man.
Yeah, they definitely Death Piggy is one of the original parts of GWAR. That's a fact. So, Dreadwind.
Yep, I love the intro on it. His little, I don't know, poem, I guess. Whatever you want to call it.
Welcome back, my friends.
Yeah, that was great. One of my notes was it did have a bit of a punk feel to it in parts. The thing about GWAR, they can really do a good job, and they do it well in a lot of their songs, of covering a variety of styles.
Yes.
Musically, their songs don't typically get too stale because they can jump around. You have like Saddam Go with all the horns going and everything.
Right.
So.
Sick of You.
Yeah, I don't think
the definitive GWAR song.
I don't think they get enough credit for musically being able to jump styles and still make it fit and sound good, because that's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
I love the rhythm change that they had right about I have it written around like the 3.5 minute mark.
Yeah, see that's what I call it, a guitar breakdown. That I call it amazing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's what it's called. But rhythm change, same thing.
Yeah, that whole rhythm change I thought was great. That was awesome. I always have them listed as a horror comedy metal.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, so
it's very funny.
I really enjoyed the song. I like GWAR, and I enjoyed this song. Give it an 8.5.
Oh, all right. So, okay, Tony, go ahead. I know you're a big GWAR fan.
Bohab to put a
definitely Bohab.
The Bohab. Man, I had so many good choices from a GWAR list. I could just go down with which ones I would want.
You know what would have been weird? It would have been weird if you'd have done "Gonna Kill You."
Yeah, but
Gorgor would have been a good one.
Yeah,
Gorgor. You Are My Meat, which is also on the same album.
Let Us Slay.
Cannibalism. But I chose this song because of the recurring zombie theme with the prior listing of Corpse. So
apparently there's an actual video for this. Did you guys see the actual video?
Yeah.
No, the only one, I saw a lyric video, so I didn't see it.
No, they have a video for this one.
I'm sure it's pretty amazing.
It's classic Guar theatrics. Like I said, I go to Barbecue every fucking year, and for obvious reasons. So with that said, this song is a 9 in my book because I'm a big fanboy for Guar. I can't
8.5, and 9. All right, that one did pretty well. All right, so our next song here is by the band Ghost, and the song is Ritual, and it is from their debut album from 2010, Opus Eponymous. And Ghost is a Swedish band formed in 2008. I love the riff. The main riff in the song is awesome. I just think it's awesome that like Ghost, all their members are like anonymous, and there's been at least 3 different Papa Emerituses.
Yeah. And
like all the musicians are just nameless ghouls. And
rumor has it.
You're gonna say Dave Grohl, aren't you?
No.
Dave Grohl. No. Rumor has it that their new bass player is definitely a female, but rumor has it that it is Sean Yulsot from White Zombie.
Awesome. No, really?
That is what the rumors are.
Awesome.
It has not been confirmed.
I thank you for pronouncing that out loud because I've wondered about that for years. But anyway, I heard that one time Dave Grohl did actually dress up as a nameless ghoul. It's not like he's not like a standard band member. I heard he did it for like one show. He came out as a nameless ghoul and played with him.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Yeah, but yeah, the latest rumor is about their bass player is.
That's fucking awesome. All right, so this album was nominated for a Grammy Award, and the whole album was really good. I like Ghost. I mean, they're not everybody's cup of tea. They're a little bit. The vocals are a little eerie, maybe I would say.
Yeah, it's ghostly, for lack of.
Yeah, I mean, the song is about a ritual sacrifice to Satan. So.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there. I give it an 8.0 directly.
Yeah, Ghost is definitely not everybody's cup of tea or vodka or whatever you want to call it. I generally actually like Ghost. One of the main reasons I like him is because the first time I heard them, they were totally not what I expected. Because I had seen a picture of them first. So I hadn't heard any of their music, but I saw their picture. And you see their picture and you expect
black metal.
One thing, right? And then you listen to them, and it was totally not what I was expecting. It was, so I think that was my initial, wow, this is pretty cool. And the guitar rhythm on this particular song is pretty crunchy rhythm. I liked it too. A lot of their songs have kind of a 60s vibe going on.
Yeah.
And I kind of described them, what I wrote down was they remind me of satanic hippies with a touch of Sabbath.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good analogy.
Yeah. This one, I have other Ghost songs that I like much better. This one's not bad. I give this one a 7.
All right, Tony.
What's a Halloween list without a ritual sacrifice to Satan? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I have to agree with Dredd in the fact that it's not their best song, but the guitar work is very solid, and I gave it a 7.
A 7.
Yeah.
What did you give it, Dreadman?
7.
All right, so 7, 7, 8. Okay. All right. Our next song is by Alice Cooper. And, full disclosure here. In my house, there is a shrine to Alice Cooper. Not mine, but there is a shrine to fucking Alice Cooper. It's got like, I don't know, like 30 different Alice Cooper concert tickets pinned to it, and it's got like, Alice Cooper dolls and all kinds of Alice Cooper shit. Alice Cooper teddy bears and ambulances and shit. And above my bed in my master bedroom, there is a big, it's like 3 foot by 5 foot picture of Alice Cooper holding his riding crop.
Didn't you build that shrine?
I did build that shrine. And that just goes to show you that I'm not a total asshole, goddammit. So, yes.
The full disclaimer, I picked this song because I knew Dan would love it.
So, yes, there is an Alice Cooper shrine in my house and a giant Alice Cooper photo in my bedroom. God damn it. All right, so Alice Cooper you know, as a solo musician, 1969 is when they started, right? The song is called He's Back, and then parenthetically, The Man Behind the Mask from their 1986 album Constrictor. And it is the theme song of Friday the 13th, Part 6.
Jason lives.
Which, once you get into those, like, once you get past, like,
that right there tells you enough about
right. Once you get past like the third movie in a movie, you know, franchise, you're scraping the bottom of the bucket, right? Cheesy keyboard, cheesy bass, cheesy video where the kid is talking to his dad, and at the end he turns around in a chair and it's fucking Alice Cooper. I mean, and then like they have the key ma 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 thing going on. And fucking Jason is chasing people around in the goddamn woods, and like, I mean, the whole thing is cheesy. I mean, like really cheesy, like fucking cheddar cheese. Like, holy shit, that's cheesy. So, yeah, I was not a fan of this song. Although,
it's Swiss
you know,
cheese because it's
yeah,
holy,
yeah, it's got. So my wife's gonna listen to this later and be like, God damn you motherfucker! Alice Cooper is the greatest. But she likes everything he does. Like, he could just like fucking yodel the Wizard from Black Sabbath as a cover, and she's like, oh my god, that's so great. But anyway, not a fan. I gave it a 4.5.
Wow, giving it some credit. Oh, hi. I'm done.
Go ahead.
I cannot top the chi ma 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 thing. Yeah, this one it surprised me with. I don't think I've actually. Well, I may have heard this one before, but if I did, I pushed it out of my memory. The '80s synthesizer beat thing going on. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of early Ministry. Have you ever heard early?
Yeah.
Where it's all 80s synthesizer, and you know, every day is Halloween.
Oh yeah, Morty.
Yeah. It's kind of your typical 80s movie theme song.
Yes.
Yeah, he said it all. I give a little bit higher rating than that, but not much. I give it a 5.
All right, Tony?
I chose this song for you guys.
Thanks for that.
Because you can't have a proper Halloween with nothing but treats. You have to have a few tricks in there.
Oh.
And so this is part 1 of the tricks. Part 2 is coming up. But part 1, quite obvious. The last Halloween movie party that I had, Jason 6 was on a randomizer that Jarvis was running. And we made a drinking game out of it. Every time somebody gets impaled, nobody else had seen the movie besides maybe like 3 of us. And like, that's how many people actually get killed in that movie, is via being impaled. At the end of the movie, everybody was drunk, and they were like, Tony, you knew, didn't you? I was like, well, yeah, duh. This movie is like garbage. And so with that said, the song Equally Hitherto is definitely not Alice Cooper's best work. This movie,
not by a long shot.
The song was made out of obligation, ergo a shitty song to an equally shitty sequel that should have stopped long ago, because, you know, then you had things like Jason X going on, and you know, and then you had the infected tonguing movie right before it. I gave it a 4.
A 4. All right. So
it's definitely no Feed My Frankenstein, that's for sure.
No, not Feed My Frankenstein.
Not a poison.
Rules Out. Not.
All right. So yeah, that was terrible. So moving on. God damn, fucking Twisted Sister. Captain Howdy. Okay.
Happy Halloween, motherfuckers.
Twisted Sister formed in New York in 1972, and I will say this about Twisted Sister: Dee Snider, he like takes up for like some issues that are actually pretty important. Like, he's you know, big free speech advocate, and he's, you know, pretty a libertarian type guy, which I like. And yeah, this, oh my god, okay. So Captain Howdy, right? I think it's like they had a movie called Strangeland in which Dee Snider was Captain Howdy, and I think it was like a nod to Exorcist, where the original, the Zuzu was also called Captain Howdy.
Yes.
And yeah, okay, so okay, the guitar was actually not that bad, but the lyrics and the vocals, holy fucking shit, were awful. Okay, terrible. It's off their Stay Hungry album, which is their third album, which who the fuck knows how they got to 3 albums. 1984. We didn't went fucking triple platinum this album. Why? Why the fuck did it go triple platinum?
It's a tragedy, I know.
I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I don't even think there's been Corrosion of Conformity albums that haven't gone gold, and this has gone triple platinum. What in the name of all that is good and fucking holy? Yeah, I give this a 3. Not a fan.
Wow.
Not a fan of Captain Howdy by
That is
Twisted
the lowest rating you have ever given a song.
Yeah, not a fan of that at all.
I've gotten the highest rating and a lowest rating out of you.
So yes, I mean, I even prefer the Alice Cooper song to this. What the fuck? All right, so Dreadwind.
There's no official video for this one, as far as I know.
There's not.
No.
The one I watched was a fan made video, and,
the one
somebody
the chick with the boobs.
Yeah, well, it was scenes from that movie, Strangeland.
Yeah.
So you had Dee Snider with all the piercings and everything, and doing his best serial murder impersonation. But the guitars, like you said, they weren't that bad. It had a pretty heavy rhythm, especially for them. It's not a typical Twisted Sister song by any means. It's like a completely different. Like you listen to it and it's like that's not Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
All
the way up until you hear Dee Snider's recognizable high pitched tones.
Well, even then, he didn't sing like he normally sings. He sung it a little differently. So, yeah, I'm gonna pull a really obscure reference out here. Let's see if you guys get it. This song reminded me of something I heard from a Muppet show called Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. And at the end, there's this band that gets on stage to play, and they're the River Bottom Nightmare Band. And the song that they play reminded me. That's what this song reminded me of. The rhythm.
Talking about Meet the Feebles.
No, it's Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas is the movie, and at the end they have to do this. They have to do this talent show, and there's this band that pops up, and they're like the local bad guys, and they're all Muppets. And there's a bear and everything, but they play a song. They're from River Bottom. They're the Nightmare Band, and they play a song called the River Bottom Nightmare Band. And the song sounded like the whole time I was listening to it, I was thinking River Bottom, yeah. So
the most obscure Muppet movie I ever watched was this Muppet movie called Meet the Feebles, and it was equally raunchy, I would assume, and bad, and all bad.
Yeah. So I'll give this song a 6. It's definitely not a typical Twisted Sister song. It wasn't too bad, but
yeah, you lost me on that reference. So I've never heard.
Okay,
that.
Well, you'll have to go look it up.
All right, so Tony, go ahead.
This is a 5. That's the highest that I would ever give any Twisted Sister song. Sadly,
even we're not going to take
it. Not even we're not going to take it.
Damn.
It's. Twisted Sister is it's an acquired taste for me, and when I was thinking about bands that would make you guys cringe as well, I had to think.
Yeah, mission fucking accomplished.
Bands that make me cringe, and so with that said, happy Halloween. I hope you enjoy those 2 tricks. I gave it a 5.
All right, so now we're gonna wrap up the show with some heavy metal stories. And I think we need some heavy metal stories to fucking wash the taste of that fucking out of our mouths, right?
We need some Listerine, some battery acid, some brick acids.
All right, I'm going to go first here. And my story this week is about Ozfest. And I believe, I'm not sure if this was, maybe it was 2003. I'm not 100% sure, right? But here's the gist of the story, right? They have at Columbus. This place doesn't even exist anymore. It was Germain Amphitheater, and they had this little spot where there were chicks would go there and they would get their boobs painted. And they would get like their boobs painted like Spider-Man webs or like 8 balls or whatever else, right? And like all around this little booth where they were painting these chicks' boobs, there were like just like thousands of dudes just like crammed in there trying to see like these chicks while they're getting their boobs, because like it was open air. It wasn't like a little room or anything. It was just they'd go lay down, take their shirts off, and they'd paint their boobs, right? So I thought that was pretty neat. Okay, so I'm there, and I'm actually there with my wife. Okay, at this particular Ozfest, and we have really good seats, and we're up in the front, not in the grass, which is like where the rabble go, but we're up in the front, and we're watching it. And I think it was in July or August. I'm not 100% sure which, but it was fucking hot. Okay, but the best part was Black Sabbath. Well, most of Black Sabbath. I don't think it had Bill Ward. But Black Sabbath comes out, and
what year was that?
Like I said, I think it was 03. I'm not 100% sure. It was 03, maybe 02, 04, in that range.
Well, I saw Sabbath at Ozfest in 04, I think, and it was the full lineup. They had Bill Ward.
Yeah, this one I'm sure it didn't have Bill Ward. I'm 100% sure of that.
Okay.
And anyway, they were up there, and it was playing. It was fucking hot. And little beknownst to us, they had these water cannons attached to the top of the stage, right? It's like in the middle of their set, they just blasted out like shitloads of water. And there was a chick, like maybe 3 seats down from me, who was unbelievably attractive, who had her boobs painted up like magic 8 balls. And this water hits and just washes all the paint off. Which is awesome. That's my story. 8-ball boobs getting washed off at Ozfest. Go ahead.
8-ball boobs become cue balls.
Right.
With stroke.
All right. I can't top that. What was the one I told last week? I'm trying to keep track of all these stories now.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I don't think I told. I think I told this
one. Start telling it. We'll say if it's the same.
Okay, I think I told this one to Tony off air. I was at a concert with a friend of mine. We're going to see Korn. Don't judge me.
Oh yes. This is a Halloween trick right here. Holy shit.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to see Korn. I can't remember who the opening band was. I want to say Deftones maybe, but anyway, we were going to see Korn. And there was a third band playing, but nobody knew who it was because they weren't listed on the ticket. It was just Korn and special guest, whoever, Deftones. So we're standing up, we're lined up outside the theater, and we're in line, and there's this guy that comes walking down the line. And it's a little short dude, and he's got a box of cassette tapes, mind you. And he's handing them out. And he gets to us. He's like, "Hey, man, I got a band. This is my band's demo and everything. Check it out. We're giving them out for free. And we got we have an album coming out in a couple months. You know, just check it out." All right, cool. So we took it from him. No idea who he was. So we get inside, we file in, and then, you know, wait a few minutes, and the band starts setting up. And then the first band comes on to play. And we recognize, hey, that's the dude. He comes out, he's the singer. That's the dude that we saw outside handing out the tapes. So they start playing, and I'm kind of like, these guys aren't that great, but whatever. So then they finish and get off stage, and like, yeah, that wasn't that hot. Maybe their tape sounds better. Maybe they're one of those bands that sound better on cassette, right? So then the other band played, and then Korn played, and then all that stuff. So then we're on the way home, we're driving home, and we say, let's put that tape in, see if that band, maybe they sound better. So we pop the tape in, and we're listening to it. And I'm like, yeah, no. Do you want my copy? Because I don't want this crap. And he's like, no. It's like, all right. The band was, I kid you not, Limp Bizkit.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was fucking Fred Durst handed me this demo cassette tape, and I hated it so bad, I took a free demo and threw it away when I got home.
You threw away a $5,000 mixtape.
2 months later, Limp Bizkit's all over the fucking radio everywhere. So everybody loves Limp Bizkit. And I'm like, no, why? These guys suck.
Same reason why Twisted Sister went triple plat.
And I could have taken that tape and sold it on eBay for who knows how much.
Easily,
But,
right? At least $50.
yeah, I hated them so bad. I probably still have them in storage or at my mom's house somewhere. I probably still have demo tapes from local bands that sound like crap that I kept because hey, as a local band, I'll keep it. Whatever demo tape. No, I threw it away.
Nice.
Yeah,
all right,
that's my story.
Tony, go ahead. Good one.
Yeah, I can't top that story. But this was a story that I was talking about with Dredd off the air. The time that I met George Fisher, aka Corpse Grinder.
Nice.
And you know, when you see this person, he's towering over you, his neck and his fucking broad shoulders, and he looks like Nathan Explosion. So the first thing that goes through your mind is he talks like Nathan Explosion. And I'm like, dude, that show was so great. And he's just like, yeah, that's awesome. And I'm like, wait, what? He speak up? He's so fucking chill off stage and so quiet that it was very awkward. Like, I was expecting him to, like, talk about, getting drunk or getting fucking wired or something. He's like, no, it's cool, man. Yeah.
Like Death Clock, brutal, yeah.
Yeah, like. Oh, wait a minute! I haven't done my Death Clock voice in a while.
Spit.
Yeah, but I was expecting that, but no. But he's a really cool guy, and if you ever have the opportunity to meet him, be sure to make sure that you still not got your ears ringing from a kick-ass show, and you got to lean in and go, huh? What?
Impossibly.
Speak up.
All right. So I think that wraps up the show. And remind me never to give Tony the fucking controls ever again.
Oh, please! I had you giving the highest scores ever,
and
then I had you get the lowest scores ever.
All right. So yeah. All right. So that was pretty interesting. Next week it's going to be a themed show, not a Halloween theme, but a different theme. And it's going to be, I'm going to be choosing the music again. Although, like I said, I'm just joking about the whole not giving Tony the reins again. Because, good songs by song. I mean, I had that one really awful song too. Although mine were chosen randomly, goddamn. All right. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for listening. And as always, fucking horns up.
Horns up. Happy Halloween, motherfuckers. Stay brutal. Drink responsibly, or unless you can get away with it.
Don't text and drive.
Yeah, don't text and drive. That's legit.
Be good.
And if you're in the pit and somebody falls down, pick the motherfucker up.
Be good. If you can't be good at it.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everybody.